Just we didn't necessarily come into the season saying we want to be the hardest team to play against, but we do pride ourselves on being a team that can collectively be very strong on both phases of the ball, whether it's attacking or defending. And it's just something that we wanted to just focus on. We've been doing our tactics since last year, and it takes a team to grow some time. Young players, everyone meshing, finally the balance of what we think is probably your go-ahead 11 or 12 players that are consistently playing, I think has a lot to do with it. Then early in the year, you guys saw a lot of reds happening and things like that just didn't let us quite get find our form. But this team has been a second half team since I've been involved, the last 3 years. We tend to get stronger as the season goes on. So that's a lot of it just has to go with the players just kind of start meshing together and all that kind of coming together.
You mentioned it earlier this week at training, but it's a question for all of you guys. You said that it's tough to beat a team 3 times. You used the example last year of LAFC beat you guys twice in the regular season, but then you saw what happened in the playoffs. How tough is it to beat a team 3 times? You know, just when you guys know each other well, they know what your strengths are, but you know theirs as well, where to exploit them.
It's tough, and it will be tough.
Yeah, I think it is. It's tough, and I think that's more because of how even teams are in this league, and so each game is there's such a small sliver of what causes a win and a loss. So I think, kind of piggybacking on Albert, I think in some of those games we lost, we could have won, and so I think that just makes it hard for one team to get each of the small difference to be on their side every game.
And I just want to go back to what you said. You said that we finished the season stronger than Portland. I think that counts for nothing. Whichever place you came in the standings at the end of the regular season, I don't think it has any effect on the playoffs. You know, this is a 1 game off, so I wouldn't put us into like a momentum that, oh, we finished stronger, we're going to be in a better shape tomorrow. No, they had 2 weeks off just like we did, and they're preparing for this game like it's the final. So we all as players have to think that this is going to be a tough game, and it's not going to be easy just because we finished better than they did.
Albert, I'm sure that in your national team career, before you came to MLS, you were part of a lot of knockout style games. How different did last year's feel for you, if at all?
Well, it's kind of similar than last year because that first game we played, it was a one-off. You had to win, and then after that it was a home and away. So it makes no difference other than the fact that we have a home game now, and it's a one-off. So it's a great opportunity for us, and I know it's a playoff system, but even with the national team or here in the regular season, you want to win every game. You want to win it like it means that if you don't, you're out of something, a cup or something. So, from that point of view, it doesn't change anything. We want to win every game, and in the regular season, if you don't, then next weekend there's another game. Now that's not the case, so we have to take this as a final.
You mentioned just the form not mattering, but you did finish in 3rd place, so you have the home game. How does the home advantage, how does that allow you guys to play the type of soccer you want to play, your best soccer at home?
I just, mentally the guys, most teams in the world would prefer to play at home. There's just that comfort level. There's the family. There's your loved ones. There's a little bit more pride. There's obviously the people behind you. So for us, as much as people want to talk that maybe we were lucky to get there and all that, the reality is we put in a good tournament throughout the year, and we were consistent. We were a team that wasn't a huge dips highs or huge dips lows, where a lot of teams were like that. And we steadied the boat. We continued, and when some people didn't take advantage of getting results, we did. And so the guys deserve to be here, and that's what we want. We'd rather play here. Any game we'd rather play at home than go on the road, and that's what the guys are excited, vibes are good, and that's what we work for all year. You start preseason for that. We've accomplished one part of it, hosting a game, and now we want to accomplish another one, which is advancing.
Kyle, you've been in the league a long time. Is the pressure feeling different this year with it being single game elimination versus that format's in the past?
No, I don't think so. I think it's. I think we're really just excited about the new format. I think it's going to once we get started here, it's going to go really quickly. You're going to find out if you're in the finals in about a week or so. And I think in the past with just so many, a lot of times that game 1 of the 2 legs, it's a little bit not the best game to watch, or even playing. It's kind of both teams can get a positive result out of this game. So I think this is just it's just gonna make the whole playoffs and build this momentum. Once we get started, it's just gonna roll right in, and it's gonna be just a lot of fun in this next 10 days or so, if you can be a part of that whole thing, for the fans and for us players. So I don't think there's any more pressure.
Do you expect that to, both teams kind of needing a win to change how your team and the Timbers approach this game?
Well, I think both teams are going to have a plan going in, and then, somebody's going to get punched in the face and knocked down, and then it's going to be about how you react to it. And so I don't think there's going to be that much difference, but I think in a two-legged series, I think at the end of the game, both teams could kind of be content with a 0-0 or a 1-1, where obviously tomorrow you're not going to have any of that.
Kyle, you've obviously throughout your career have been in playoffs so many times. How much value do you think last year's playoff experience had for some of the guys some of the rookies, some of the guys who've never experienced an MLS playoff?
Yeah, it'll definitely give those guys a bit more comfort going into this. They know what to expect, especially last year going into LAFC, an away game, and having to deal with that and coming out on top, feeling, okay, we can do this. So, and that also goes with the games, and these guys, like a lot of these young players have a lot of games now, and the only way to get experience is to go about it and get it. So I know all the young guys have now a bit more experience than they did last year. We earned to get a home game, so everything's there for us. We're excited for it.
Freddie, it's been 2 weeks since the last game in Vancouver. We had, I think it was about 8 guys that were away with their national team, Albert being one of them. When we spoke earlier in the week, I think Albert was the only one that had returned at that time. How have you thought about just reintegrating everyone, making sure everyone's, I know that you talked that playing with their national teams often they return sharper and even more intense than before they left. Is that what you saw the last couple of days of everyone back?
Yeah, the message to the guys that stayed back, Kyle would vouch for this, was just the last 2 times was just, hey, we know those guys are all about business. They're going national team. They're going to play at a high level. We got to try to replicate that, the guys that stay back. So when they come in, just a quick blend into it. And as far as just them getting back and meshing, it's simple. We stay with the same training philosophy, and really Thursday's usually a more tactical day. And so when they all got here at the right time to go over our tactics and whatever we want to start looking for and set pieces and all that. So it's been an easy get back together with the guys. By this time of the year, you already know the opponent and you know what to expect. So it just makes it a whole lot more easier.
Do you give some of those guys that are coming from international duty some extra time to rest somehow, recover more, knowing that, they're coming back in the middle of the weekend and that game and that they truly is?
Yeah, it actually worked out okay for us this time. Albert got here on Monday night, so he naturally kind of just came into the training where we had a session and then got a break from it. The 23s came in, but I kept in touch with the coach and them, and they had more of a lighter week as opposed to the last time they left. And just last time was a whole lot different on the international, but we do kind of try to balance, but it was all really talked throughout the week and talking with our science department of how long we can push them, and we were cleared on when they came on their loads that they could get into the training right away, and they did, and they haven't missed a beat.
Freddie, this could be also a player perspective or Freddie, but throughout the regular season, what has been this team's biggest growth as we head into the playoffs that you can say that you've changed and grown in?
I'll answer first. I'm sure they got something different, but for me, it's just what Kyle said a while ago. You have younger guys that have experience. With experience becomes confidence in individuals. So the LAFC game last year, the playing 2 more games against KC in the playoffs, all that is growth and development and the mental part of the game. And so as you come in again to start the new year, it's another 15 to 20 games, some 30 games of experience. And the only way you get better is with seeing situations reoccur and over and over and over in a game, and you know how to adapt to those situations. And that's just been our biggest process. I think we have a good base of veterans that seen it all. Nothing really phases them. And then we have young guys that can see that the veterans don't panic, and they're growing. The young guys are growing. So for me, it's just been experience and really a steady mindset where we're not up here if we won a game, and we're not down here when we lose a game. And that's been really, from what I've seen, the locker room's never been too excited and also not too down, and just a steady cruise throughout the year.
For me, it's the collective strength to win a game when you're not playing so good. You know, I feel like this year we've won a few games where we weren't a better team, you know, but we stuck together and we grind out results. And at the end of the season, those were important results because we saw how tight the table was. So I feel like the collective strength is one of our strengths.
Do you feel like you guys are better suited at this point right now where you guys are at to beat Portland this time around?
That's what
We
we train
hope
for
so.
every day.
I mean, it's the greatest time to beat them because in the regular season, you know, when you win, you get 3 points. But a win now means, you know, we continue playing the playoffs and their season's done. So, I mean, it's just as important a game as the other were. But yeah, it'll be a nice feeling.